I am in between shops right now. That means I have a ton of stuff that I need to do. Not only moving everything, like finishing projects, getting the electricity going, talking to my landlord, all these things. So usually what my brain does in these situations to support me is go in the middle of the night. Have you thought about an alternative way to store plywood lately? And it will not stop. So today, instead of dealing with all the things I have to deal with, we are experimenting with an alternative way to store plywood, because that's what my brain wants to do. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
The issue with plywood, one, it's heavy. It's heavy. So like lifting it like this, not really possible. The second thing, they have a tendency to, kind of suck the air out and stick to each other. And the problem is I like to have a couple sheets of plywood always ready to go. Different things, birch plywood, the cheaper stuff, the more expensive stuff, maybe one that's walnut. If you have a full stack of them and you don't need the first one, but maybe one that's buried a little bit deeper, you kind of have to take the stack, hold it with your body. And this is only 2 sheets, but it's already getting heavy. If it's more, it's going to be kind of dangerous. And then you try to get this sheet out and you need to wiggle it out. It is possible, but it can be optimized. And I had this idea for probably 8 years. And only now that I'm under so much pressure to move my shop and I have 0 time at all for anything, I decided, let's commit. Let's commit to this idea and do it. Let's make it count, guys. I'm creating a lot of problems for future Laura time-wise. So let's make this one count. And did I mention we don't have electricity in this shop yet? So the circumstances really couldn't be better. Okay, check this out. I got a bunch of these. I think it's 80 and they were like $40. So relatively cheap. Those are conveyor belt bearings. Now my idea is to build a platform with a bunch of those. They have a dividing wall and the plywood sits on top of them. So if you want to take out a sheet, it should just effortlessly glide. And that means very organized and very accessible plywood storage. I looked everywhere for this solution because it seems like such a no-brainer, but I haven't seen it, which means it's probably the best idea I ever had. Let's go.
So what's the first step?
The first step is the weight of it all. It needs to be a pretty solid structure because it's holding all these sheets. And at first I thought I'd build a plywood house. But then when we got keys to the shop, my landlord said, all these heavy duty shelves, you can have them. So I think we're gonna build this inside of one of those shelves, which when you come to the other side, that's kind of like a big theme anyways in this shop, having these high shelves. So my idea is to have another one, put it here, and have the plywood storage in the bottom, a little bit of cutoffs or 2x storage on the top. And then this is where the wood shop is going to be. This is where the loading dock is. So I can essentially come from here, load the pieces of plywood, but when I need them, I can come from here, grab them, and just bring them over to the saws. Especially because I work by myself a lot, I think this is something where I can erase some friction and just make it very easy for myself to have access to pieces of plywood and not always be struggling with them. You get the point now. We have to account for the space of the light switches, so we have a little bit of free room here, but that's okay. That's plenty of plywood storage. I think for the bottom, instead of using this, I'm going to use a 2x4 that we can drill into, which will make the construction a little bit more sturdy and manageable. All right, this is a very sturdy foundation. This is the space that we have to work with. Now we can go ahead and think about the bearings. 54. Nice. Good. So let's say 3.2, and then we have plywood, and then the same thing again, right? We need I think what we need is a railing. So when we throw in the boards, they are guided to stay on the bearings, right? When we throw in the plywood sheets. So we have a proof of concept. I want to do the first one with a rail, put it in and see if we can fit a piece of plywood. And then we have to do the same thing for the top, just no bearings, but just the guides, so they can slide in and out. Okay, spacing roughly like this.
So how many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6. Now I want to show you my new toy. Honestly, I thought it was a little bit of a gimmick, but this is actually so perfect for what we're trying to do here. Okay, I've never actually used this. So we can do a 0, right? This is our 0. And then we can set it to 11. Okay, let's try it.
Fits?
Nice, it fits. Okay. This is great. This is great. Okay. Let's cut a divider. Then we can put it in place and test it on a sheet. How high do we think this needs to be? I think 3. 3 is sufficient. Now this is the moment where we learn if my brain was right.
8 years ago?
8 years ago. Okay. I'll get a sheet of plywood. Ready? Oh. Dude! That feels like a library or something. And the sound! This is awesome. This is awesome.
Wow.
2 fingers. Like it's so nice. My brain is a genius. It works. I'm very happy with this. This is cool. Okay, let's elbow grease. Let's drill all the holes. In case you're wondering why I'm not using the track anymore, I figured out that the distance that this naturally has when I bump against the last one that I drilled is 1 millimeter off, like 1 millimeter more than what we need. So I'll just use that. We have a little bit more space, no problem, but so much faster. Okay. I want to leave a little bit more space here for thinner sheets, and also remember the light switch so we don't bump against the light switch when we come in and out with a sheet. Cool. Okay, now we just need the same thing for the top, minus the bearings obviously, just to hold it in place. So we can have the sheets of plywood in between this comb. And then this is it. Okay, that's good. Let's install it. I think we need both of our sets of our hands. Oh yeah.
Oh, we don't have any clamps, do we?
Nope. I can put a temporary screw in. 9.
Having trouble?
Was ist das denn für ein Scheiß? Was ist das denn für ein Scheiß? Okay, now let's try it with the big sheet and then see, was it all worth it? Kind of want to load it from the other side because that's how we've been doing it, right? It works. This is so nice. This is so nice. Yeah, and then I can just take it out this way. Ta-da! Now I want to buy 7 sheets of plywood because we used all of our plywood to build this. So smooth. This is great. Okay, let's tighten it all before we forget to do that. And then we can put like the 2x4s on top of this, the thin sheets inside of here. It's great. So the space in the back is for the thin stuff. That's super light, so it doesn't need wheels, but it has its own space where these sheets can go. Proof of concept. Through the power of editing, you will now here see a full stack of plywood because we kind of used all the plywood I had to store, so I have to run to the store, get more. But it is such a joy to see this 8-year-old idea come to life. Not only that, but also work so well. It's a joy. It's a joy to move plywood. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. And the cool part is all of this material together is barely over $100. Totally worth it. And this is just, it makes my life so much easier. Okay, So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed the procrastination, and I'll see you next week with a video where I hopefully do something that I actually have to do. Okay, bye! Come, Smudo, let's go. Come on, Schatz. This week's video is sponsored by the Bluetti Elite 400. It is the biggest power bank I have from them, and I call it the backup buddy because it's not only super useful in my shop because it can run heavy machinery, microwaves, lights, all of this at the same time. It has multiple different outlets, so I never have to find the adapter. I can also take it home because it functions as a home backup system in case of an emergency. I have actually used it to back up the camper when I was switching over batteries. This thing is powerful. Of course, powerfulness comes with size and with weight, but that is not a problem because it has wheels and a handlebar and it's just navigates like a suitcase. It has a capacity of 3.84 kilowatt hours. It allows 1,800 watt solar charging, and if you use it as a home backup, it has a switchover of 15 milli UPS. And if you want to go truly off-grid, the combination of the Elite 400 and the Bluetti 350 watts solar panels is super simple. Plug and play. You can go wherever, whenever, and you always have enough power. If you're interested in getting a backup buddy for yourself, your shop, or your home, then click the link in the description and check out the offers that Bluetti has for you. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Bluetti for the ongoing support of my channel, and I'll see you next week with a really good video.